Okay, so I'm going to attempt to pull the sub-transmission out of this Honda Pioneer. Now, I've never done this. I've actually never worked on a Honda side-by-side before. This will be my first, and I can't seem to find any good videos on how to pull a sub-transmission out of a Pioneer. I'm sure they're going to be pretty close to that of a Talon, which also I have never removed. But that being said, I'm just going to give you a rundown of a few things that will help speed up, because according to Honda, this takes a while, and I don't think I'm going to have to take that long. So I didn't have to take the box off. I did so just for extra room in and around these rear axles. But go ahead and pull the four wheels. It will help speed things up. And then pull the skid plates off. And then the front here. You need to remove the front drive shaft from the sub-transmission. You do not need to take all this stuff off. Nothing. All you need to do is take the 3 bolts that come out here, the long bolts that go through to hold the front differential in, and then you can see you slide it ahead that far, and that gives you enough room to get the drive shaft off that shaft and just set it aside. And then the next thing I should have mentioned first, make sure the vehicle is in park, because somebody, I don't know if maybe if Honda has this factory or not, but focus in, you see how the shaft is marked with this slot? I didn't do that. I don't know if that's factory or if somebody else had it apart and did that, but the reason it's in park is so I can mark where this is, mark where the shaft is before I take it apart, so I know it goes back together the same way. And because the last thing I want to do is have anything off, and well, the customer wouldn't be very happy. So I'm going to continue on here, and I'll show you how this progress goes to make this quick. But really, I know I've got to hoist and makes things easier, but I'm only into this thing 15 minutes, and I've already got the front drive shaft off, the skid plate off, the 4 wheels off. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I think you're going to figure out, it goes without saying, to drain the fluid. Just going to save from making a mess. And I went ahead and popped this sensor here out, and then took the line off up here, and I'll set this whole wiring aside because obviously it's going to have to come out of the way. And then if you don't drain the fluid, then as soon as you take this out, it's just going to drain out there anyway and make a mess. So be aware of that, and the fluid's going to have to come out anyway. Okay, so these 2 long bolts come from the top of that transmission. These 3 short bolts, I'll point out where they were, and 2 of these nuts right here were on studs. They are, I guess, the 3 come out inside here beside where the front drive shaft runs. And then up here, you can still see the studs there. And there was a long bolt there and a long bolt there. Once you get all those out, it will separate. But then I found that I couldn't slide it off. This was bolted up here because it was hitting here. So I unhooked it from here, and I'm hoping there's enough room I can just slide it right off. Otherwise, I'll have to work at getting those studs out. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so there was enough room to slide this off. And I guess I forgot to mention too that I did slide it right off the rear drive shaft as well. So I slid it out and on these studs. I will, however, say it's going to be easier. I'm just going to remove those studs, put it back in, and then thread the studs back in. It's definitely going to be easier to lower it down than to fight with between the drive shaft and this boot. And also, I did forget to mention, there's a vent tube up top here. Get that off. I realized that when I was trying to lower it. So yeah, it's on the bench. This whole thing took me maybe 45 minutes, and that's including, you know, the time for stopping and making the videos that I have. So hope that helps. I know there's lots of videos online on how to take this thing apart and fix it and whatnot. I am upgrading it and putting the Talon reverse gear in and whatnot, but I don't think you need my help with that. There's tons of videos for that. So hope this helps people out.